Hey everybody, this is Bill. Welcome to the Color and Pageantry section of our channel. We're going to talk college football today. We're going to look at our Week 3 Top 25. We're going to look at some teams that dropped out of last week's Top 25. And we're going to take a look at some teams that are looking to get into the Top 25. So we hope you'll join us for this video. Now, before we get to the top 25 today, we're going to have a moment to talk about this Mel Tucker situation at Michigan State. Now, this is a very unfortunate situation. We think Michigan State kind of wanted to get out of that monstrous contract that they gave him. Good grief, they gave him a big contract. Things weren't working out anywhere near as well as they had hoped. But now Mel Tucker has engaged in activity that is not befitting a head coach in a public atmosphere. Now, this was a private situation between two consenting adults. This is someone who did on an occasion work for Michigan State, came in as a vendor to discuss some things with the team. And so this was just an inappropriate, unfortunate situation, but Michigan State was looking to get out of it, and Tucker gave him the ammunition as far as we can tell. Now, Brenda Tracy, this young lady who had been abused and had been doing a wonderful job going around talking about this to various communities and schools and so forth, really trying to raise awareness, really commend that. Sorry for what happened to her, but this was not a great decision by her either, and her credibility in our mind is now shot as well. So Michigan State is going to get rid of Mel Tucker. There's going to be some legal ramifications here on both sides as we see this thing shake out. But Michigan State, again, we thought they wanted to get rid of Tucker. They wanted to get out from underneath that contract. Tucker gave them a vehicle to do so. And Brenda Tracy, this was an unfortunate decision by her, we think. And so we just, in our minds, Tucker, Michigan State, and Brenda Tracy have all taken a credibility hit here. So we'll be interested to see what Michigan State does from here, but they've got some reputation building to do. So they can't just go get the best coach. They're going to have to get somebody that knows how to mend fences. Maybe that's Bill O'Brien. We got our eyes on it. Now let's get to the teams that are looking to get in the top 25 and who fell out. Now, first up, let's look at the teams that are looking to get in. And it's a long list of them here. There's a lot of teams playing some decent ball out there. I want to talk about three teams we had in this list last week that are no longer in it. First of all, Arkansas lost a home game to BYU. BYU's always tough, might be better than we thought, but we did not anticipate Arkansas with a veteran quarterback, KJ Jefferson, losing that football game. Next up was Michigan State. Of course, they've got the turmoil surrounding Mel Tucker that we just discussed. That's a problem. They were not mentally prepared for Washington, but boy, howdy, they got hammered by Washington. Could have been a lot worse. Washington, obviously a very good football team, but Michigan State, not worthy again of consideration into the top 25 anymore, as we wonder. And the same goes for Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy and his bunch. At home, absolutely hammered by South Alabama. Now, South Alabama's a better football team than you think they are. I can assure you that. They had 18 starters back. Okay, but going to Oklahoma State and bombing them like they did, that's a whole nother matter. So South Alabama's going to get into this group. They were in there previously. They lost to Tulane. But we're watching South Alabama, Oklahoma State, Michigan State, and Arkansas. They're on the outside looking in now. Now, as we look at this group that we have, Clemson. Now, they got blasted by Duke, but it turns out Duke's pretty good. Now, Clemson has, looked better, but they're lying in wait. Their season is on the ropes. Florida State comes into Death Valley. Clemson has got to put it all on the line against the Seminoles. We think they'll play well. I don't think they'll get it done, but they're going to play well. I promise you that. Will Shipley in the gang. Tennessee, a dismal performance in the Swamp. The Swamp is a house of, we said this last week, the Swamp is a house of horrors for the Volunteers, but man, they did not play well, and they got beaten badly down there. The Aggies of Texas A&M, after that loss to Miami, looking to get back in it. Kentucky's a good team. They've got the Gators next week. Kansas State fell to Mizzou on the road on a 62-yard field goal bomb by Harrison Mavis, the All-America kicker. Kansas State's good, but they took an L. Wisconsin, Tulane, Texas Tech, Maryland looking good, and Louisville looking pretty good. Now, NC State's a decent team with the loss to Notre Dame. Auburn has a chance to make some noise coming up here soon. They got Georgia in a couple weeks. There's Brigham Young and South Alabama, our two winners from this week we just talked about. Syracuse looking pretty good. Kansas went on the road out west, played a very late game, did not perform well, but they're still undefeated. Toledo, Fresno State's looking good. Illinois and Texas Christian, 2 teams with a loss. We still think they can come back and have a decent year. So these are our teams that are looking to get into the top 25. And the 2 that fell out, we had already mentioned just now. Tennessee, dismal performance, and Kansas State losing on the road at Mizzou on that bomb of a field goal. Now, before we get to the top 25, we would like to invite you to follow us over on Facebook at the Color and Pageantry. We're not a big channel, but we put some stuff on there. You might be interested in it as a college football fan. Feel welcome to join us over there. The Color and Pageantry. That's on Facebook. Like to see you over there with us. Let's get a look at our Week 3 top 25. We've got the Iowa Hawkeyes. They're just winning ugly. That's what they do. Now, they go to Penn State this week. I don't think they're going to be successful there. That's a night game. That's a whiteout. Penn State looks pretty good. Let's check it out. See what Iowa's got. Missouri, big victory they had over K-State. That big field goal we've mentioned. Washington State, they're sitting out there. They look pretty good too. Now, into the top 25 come the Florida Gators. Now, they had that loss to Utah to open the season. They looked terrible. But, man, they handed Tennessee. They ran all over Tennessee. Travis Etienne, 170-something yards. Tennessee looked awful. Florida made them look awful. Man, big win for the Florida Gators and Billy Napier. UCLA is 21st. North Carolina is 20th. They played Minnesota from the Big Ten. We wanted to see what Minnesota had. They're another one of those teams that kind of fell out of that group that we were looking at. They did not play well against North Carolina. North Carolina really dismantled them, so North Carolina is 20th. 19th is the Miami Hurricanes. They are playing well. This looks to be a better Miami team than we've seen in a while. Tyler Van Dyke looking good at quarterback. Colorado withstood a barrage against Colorado State. What a tough football game that was. Man, there was some hitting going on. Many folks stayed up late to watch that. Colorado State, 26-point dogs, I think, with Jay Norvell. Played them tough, went into overtime, lost it. Colorado's still on the move. Oregon this week. My goodness, we're going to learn everything we need to know. Duke, still looking good, 17th. Ole Miss, they go to Alabama this week. They've got a heck of an opportunity because, folks, Alabama looks shaky. And Ole Miss, guess what? Everybody thinks they're an air raid team under Lane Kiffin. They're not. They like to run the foot. They throw out of the run. They like to run. And they got a great running back, Judkins. Ole Miss, watch them this weekend at Alabama, 3:30 on CBS. 15th is Utah. They keep plugging along, the Utes, but the schedule is going to get tougher, so we're going to find out about them. They need Cam Rising, their quarterback, to be healthy. He's not there yet. Alabama, they fall to 14th. Folks, they were tied at the half to South Florida in a monsoon down in Tampa. This is not how Alabama plays. Saban's still got a chance to dig him out of the hole, though. He's going to go back to Milroe at quarterback. We think that's the good call. Saban's forgot more during lunch yesterday than we know, but we think that's the right call for Alabama. Going to see what they got. They've got Ole Miss. We just talked about it. Ole Miss that's going to be an interesting game. We're all going to be watching it. Oklahoma, they're 13th. They look better this year. They're putting the points on. Dylan Gabriel looking good. Oklahoma, interested to see how they continue to go. They've got Texas coming up now in a couple weeks. Oregon, Colorado, everybody going to be watching that. Bo Nix and the Quack Attack. The Duck, they resurrected him from doing 81 push-ups the other day, about killed him. He's back. The Duck in Autzen Stadium, Prime, and the Buffaloes. Wow, going to be a good game. Oregon State's 11th. Nobody talks about them. They got DJ out there from Clemson. They're a good football team. Watch out for the Beavers. They're well coached. And LSU is 10th. They absolutely slobber-knockered Mississippi State, another one of the teams we had looking to get into the top 25. They went to Stark Vegas out at Hale State and absolutely blasted Mississippi State. Good heavens. Shows you what we think LSU might be capable of. And, man, they look good. LSU is 10th. 9th, we have Notre Dame. Now, they host Ohio State this week, and we're going to find out a lot. We don't know if Ohio State's got things clicking offensively. They have the best receiver room in the country. Heck, their receiver room might be better than some NFL teams. But the quarterbacking has not quite been there yet. The running back situation is good for Ohio State. The lines of scrimmage may not be what we think they are, and they are getting better, Buckeyes are, in the secondary. But they're going to need to be because Notre Dame can heave it with Sam Hartman. Remember, he came over from Wake Forest, excellent quarterback. Notre Dame's got a lot of talent. That's going to be a great football game at night, and that's where game day's going. Notre Dame hosting Ohio State. That's going to be a great one. So Notre Dame's our 9th-ranked team. Penn State, they're 8th. They look good. They're looking good. Penn State, I think they might be better than they have been maybe since Barkley, the great running back Saquon Barkley, who's with the New York Football Giants. It's about the best Penn State team since he's been there, so we got our eye on Penn State. Of course, they, as we mentioned, host Iowa this weekend. There's Ohio State. Got them at 7th. Want to see how they perform against the Irish. Going to be a great football game. Everybody's going to be watching that. Southern Cal comes in at 6. They're fantastic on offense. Reigning Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams. They got talent everywhere. People running around scoring touchdowns. Can they stop the quality competition? We're going to find out in the upcoming weeks. Southern Cal, they've got Colorado coming up 2 weeks from now. That'll be interesting. The Texas Longhorns had a battle with Wyoming. Wyoming's tough. Wyoming beat Texas Tech a couple of weeks ago. Wyoming's no pushover. Don't think so. But Texas, they got them beat 31-10. Got it done. Florida State is 4th. We had the Seminoles in number 2. They bombed LSU. They looked good. They looked like men among boys out there. Man, they stunk it up 31-10 with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Boston College had a 3rd and 17, and the Seminoles almost lost the football game. A couple of dismal plays. They had a screen pass. A guy got hit, fumbled, scoop and score. Then the onside kick came, and the Seminoles bungled it on the 20-yard line, gave it right to Boston College, who had an elusive run quarterback that they couldn't tackle him. So the Seminoles showed some real weaknesses. They're going to have to get that corrected. Clemson and Death Valley at high noon this Saturday. If the Seminoles play like that, they're going to take an L. That's all I can tell you. Now, what are the real Seminoles? The ones that bombed what looks to be a fantastic LSU team, or that nonsense that was witnessed last week? We think Seminoles will pull it out, but man, they got some work to do in practice this week. We dropped them. Washington went to Michigan State, and I'm telling you, Washington, they got some folks at Washington, especially on offense. The quarterback, exceptional. Pair of fantastic receivers. Washington's not messing around. And look out, Washington. We like them. The Huskies, number 3. Michigan, number 2. A great football team. They keep getting it done. Nothing flashy. That's Michigan for you. That's what they're going to do. But they're going to cakewalk here for a while. They might have the schedule to take them all the way till they face Penn State and Ohio State. So Michigan should be in the playoff, quite honestly. Georgia's number 1. Georgia was losing to South Carolina at the half at home, but they came back and won the football game. Georgia doesn't look to be particularly dominant right now, but we've seen this before. So let's see how Georgia plays when they play they don't have a lot of tough competition this year. Their schedule is not that difficult. But let's see how when they face Auburn or Florida or something, let's see if they tune it up a notch. But Georgia, until somebody knocks them off, they're the 2-time defending national champions. So guess what, folks? Georgia, they're undefeated, and they're number 1. So that's it. That's our top 25 for this week. Drop us some comments. Let us know what you think. Have we missed somebody? Is there somebody we got too high? You think we should bring somebody down, or somebody down there in the bottom area you think they're a heck of a lot better than we give them credit for? They should be higher. Drop us a note. We'd love to hear your comments on that. Do follow us over at the Color and Pageantry on Facebook. We'd appreciate it if you look at us over there. We post some things. We do some injury updates, some stories we see. We throw it on there, and we make some commentary. And, of course, we put our top 25 on there as well. So do join us over there if you're so inclined. Hey, thank you so much for watching. We just look forward to these games every week, and we like talking about them. Great games this weekend. All time windows at noon, FSU Clemson. 3:30, Ole Miss Alabama. And at 7:30, Ohio State Notre Dame. Those are your headliners. Oregon Colorado's at 3:30. Who plans on missing? I know I don't. It's going to be... I got a bunch of TVs. We're going to watch it all. So, man, it's going to be an exciting week. I hope you'll enjoy it as much as we do. Thank you so much for watching the video here. We really appreciate it. Drop us some comments if you got any. We'll see you next week.